Episode 1. Here we are.
We should shotgun to this.
We should. We have to finish the ones we're drinking.
Yeah.
You gonna drink it or babysit it? I'll wait. Nope.
Let's play a game.
Oh,
You first.
I don't like where this is going.
You first.
Play a game of what?
That's the game. You're free. It's life. You
I
first.
mean, yeah, we're playing a game now.
You move. What's your move?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Your move is you don't move. You sustain your move.
Your move is obviously babysit the beer. Because now you want a shotgun one, but you can't.
No, that's not the game.
I know.
It's your move, not mine.
Well, how's Val? Wait.
Valiant.
No. Are you okay?
Overrated term.
Such overrated. So overrated. Do I like Uno reverse this? Like,
Make a move.
move to what?
So I guess your move was Q&A. How's Valiant? Valiant is
Trapped in deep
here in the same sense that a zebra or a sheep is grazing the desert in Australia, sleeping in its herd
Africa?
underneath the sun. I guess it's morning time right now over there. So
In Africa?
in Australia.
Are there zebras in Australia?
I said sheep. Wait, did I say zebra?
You said zebras.
Africa. Either way, yeah. It's much easier to have a conversation over the phone. It's weird.
I mean, obviously, yeah, because
It's
you don't
like
have
there's
to.
a fly watching me.
I mean, maybe. I think it's just your self-conscious. It could be.
Most definitely.
Yeah, your subconscious. Your essential external crisis brain.
So Q&A.
You wanna...
You can play that game, surely.
Fuck.
Questions and answers.
I hope we made it past a minute.
Q.
Go for it.
Okay.
This is gonna get deep. This is gonna be so deep.
Now it's not going to be so deep. It'll only be as deep as
As the whale gets?
your understanding of what deep is.
My deep is bottomless.
That's what everyone says. In the same
That's not
sense-
what everybody says.
Yeah, I know, everyone's going through shit, okay. But not everyone has purposefully gone to hell. I want to taste the flesh of Satan so I know why Jesus wants no part of it. Otherwise, how do you know? It's just blind faith. Theory can only take you so far, as the movie quote.
I'm gonna need a beer. Jesus, okay, according to religion, and my understanding of it, Jesus, actually, it wasn't even Jesus. It was
Mhm.
God that put him in the lake of fire and cast him out of heaven.
Yeah.
Jesus just, Jesus doesn't hate. Jesus doesn't hate Satan because he doesn't know Satan. Wait, yes he does. Because he met him in the garden.
Not only that, he met him in the desert, but Jesus, many things. Something a lot of people don't talk about in the Bible is how.
Are you gonna shotgun it? Or are
often-
you gonna open it? What are you doing?
Oh, you were gonna shotgun.
Fuck yeah, use the shotgun.
I'll drink that one. But Jesus was always
I can still shotgun that one. You just take the unopened.
beat up churches, and like he had a huge issue with churches. Many people think that using the Lord's name in vain means don't cuss, but really it means don't claim divine virtue for personal gain. Don't use the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah.
Don't claim to believe in Jesus, so that way people look at you like you're a Christian.
That's very. Oh, what was his name? Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen.
Not Joel. Yeah, the guy that people think's like is actually Satan, the Antichrist. Where did he put?
I don't know. You'd have to show me a picture.
The guy, the televangelist. Not Jim Jones.
Eventually, I'll get my. I think I know who you're talking about. That he looks like a demon.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I'll be able to get my laptop hooked up to the computer, and then I'll be able to use both monitors to where anytime we want to show something or we want to look at something,
Like click, click, click.
yeah, it'll show the. It's
I mean, we have
complicated.
Phones. We have phones, but I know what you're
But
saying.
it wouldn't be.
This is why we need a third person. Be like, hey, pull up a picture of.
I feel like a third person also helps break the ice, and I just opened this.
Oh my god!
Here, can you said you can still shotgun this, right? It's gonna be dripping.
Take this. Oh, you're dripping?
It's
Oh,
it's
boy.
leaking.
She leaking. Soaking wet.
Amy.
Why do you have just an unnecessarily large knife that just...
Why don't you need a knife like that?
That's fucking beautiful.
Like, you ever seen that video where the dude is in New York and he's in a line, and so interview, like a newscaster of a person, interviews him, and because it's for a crowbar, to win a crowbar event thing, and you
Win
have to,
a
like,
crowbar?
yeah, win a crowbar, and it says the word Supreme on it. And so
Oh, Supreme crowbar.
they asked him, like, why are you in this line? He's like, there's a crowbar. You can win a crowbar. What kind of person doesn't want a crowbar? And then she told him, I was like, do you know that it says Supreme on it? And his jaw just fucking drops. He's like, oh my fucking God. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you gotta have the azimuth.
Men. Will be men.
It's the fact that you're
Dare I say
left-handed.
kids.
That we're both left-handed.
You're left-handed?
What?
You're left-handed?
Yeah, I'm left-handed.
Fuck yeah.
To be fair, your hole is much larger than mine. That's a virgin beer.
Oh.
You made your shotgun hole like my ex-wife. Clap the fuck out.
Oh God. I'll work tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. You work for a corporation, I am a corporation.
I'm trying to be a corporation.
We'll get there. Get you trademarked and
I don't
copyrighted.
even really care about all that, honestly.
I know.
Because at the end of the day, like, have you ever looked into being a politician and the shit you have to go through? If you were to try to be a politician,
Yeah.
you have to have a whole entire team. You have to have so many votes. You have to go through shit tons of paperwork. You have to have all these people to validate. You have to have at least several people for, like, your cabinets and all this shit. It makes it impossible for the common man to be mayor. Can't happen. Can't fucking happen.
True.
That's
Yeah, my uncle ran for Congress. He lost because he's a
independent.
100%.
Independent, yeah, and that's also that. They basically force you to join a political party.
Yep.
I have a friend that's like, I don't know. It feels weird saying names.
Don't it though?
I don't want to like
Out
someone's
anybody.
reputation.
Yeah. No free plugs. That's like Modelo. We're not sponsored by Modelo, but we'd like to be.
Well, pretend you're in a confession booth.
You're not ready for that. The world isn't ready for that.
It already is. It actually doesn't even care.
I can't publicly admit to some of the shit that I've done because of the statute of limitations is not
That's
ran
the
out.
only way you'll be able to be free.
You're right.
Oneness. As long as you identify with your separateness, there will always be fear. Ram Dass. Never there is no such thing as separateness. You are the person that did whatever they did to you, and you are you.
No, it's not what. It's not what they did to me. It's what I did to them.
And what they did to you.
Okay, I get that. I'm an international terrorist, if you want to get technical.
Everyone.
And I cannot admit to violating Geneva.
Take
Convention.
away the laws. Take away all the words and shit that's thrown onto it. It's all just emotions, feelings.
Right.
Don't even put words in there. It's all just pictures connected to feelings. There you go. And you simmer away the personality, then all you're left with is something that any single human could be or experience. And then no separation.
I get that, but there's some things that we just don't admit to. Some things have to be reserved.
I admit to being a cunt.
I'm a fucking dick. I am Valiant, I am a whole piece of shit.
But you don't believe that.
No, I do. I fully know, fully understand.
Yeah, that's just an asshole way of saying you're humble.
No, I've been humbled.
It's an
I blatantly am
It's
an
an
asshole.
asshole way of saying you're humble.
I am humble. I have been humbled. And I enjoy, like a lot of people don't appreciate being humbled. So, because it's a hit to your pride. It's a hit to your ego. It's a knock, like dick punch to your ego, to be humbled.
By the universe, yeah.
Like, no, just by life, by the universe, by whatever you want to call it. But like, you've been homeless. I've been homeless.
Yeah.
Like, you've had to figure out where your next meal was going to come from. Even if you got one and got lucky. I've been there too. And like, that has turned me, that humbling has turned me into an asshole.
You know what I'm gonna do? Oh my god.
Because
You can't imagine being someone without becoming it. Therefore, you can be anything you imagine.
Are you throwing
And
right
right
gang
now,
signs at me? What's up?
I am.
Like, don't diss my set.
Oh, this is your personality. Of course.
Yeah.
That's the. Did I tell you about the 6 channels?
No.
Okay, so there's your physical body. Then you go deeper. Then there's your personality, which is personal preference to everything, basically. Where you're like, I like it this way. I like this music. I like this food. This is me. This is what I like.
Right.
And then below personality is the stars, Libra, and all that kind of shit.
Astrological.
And then below that is the soul, or the subconscious, or that which is right there. The thing below, so you are a swamp, let's say. You are the atmosphere of the swamp.
I need beer for this.
And The subconscious is the lake, the swamp itself.
Okay.
You can't experience the swamp itself. You experience the bubbles that bubble up out of the swamp. And those may be called thoughts or something, but you can't experience. That's the subconscious.
Right.
But
We're
you-
just methane gas.
And
We're swamp gas.
We are carbon. We are stardust.
Right, but then the ADHD in this podcast is unreal. It's just
See,
okay, so
what I'm thinking about is like, if I was tripping and listening to this, what would I be screaming in my ears right now? Screaming at the screen. Like,
I mean, let's just roll with it. It is what it is. Let's just go with it and see what happens. I don't even know what I was gonna say. You have a beer, I don't. You forced me to shotgun a beer.
I opened
No.
up too. No, I didn't.
Aha! See? No.
No.
Try again.
No.
I want to make a every time you touch one. Eh.
That's your beer now, so.
Why is this my beer?
Because you're it.
Oh. Back, meow.
I'll be able to keep up with you for now, but not for long.
You'll be what?
Keep up with you for now, but not for long.
Good luck. So, scientifically, matter cannot be created or destroyed, correct?
Yeah.
Which this is a thought that I had not too long ago. Is there a limited number of souls?
There's only one soul. I think. There's only one soul.
What?
There's only one. There's only one. And the trick is, every
Elaborate.
single time you die, you go into the light. That's reincarnation. That's the whole quote, be weary that when you stare into the abyss, you yourself do not become a monster.
Exactly.
And so the blackness is hell,
Mhm.
quote unquote.
Mhm.
And so if you don't face hell in your lifetime, you won't ever
No, I'm thinking like
transcend.
like
It's
you're
the
thinking-
whole True Detective show where Matthew McConaughey is like, time is a flat circle.
hold on, say that again.
It's a show. I got this off a show.
No, like what was the name?
I'm trying to be respectful and quote people.
What was the
Matthew
name?
McConaughey?
McConaughey?
McConaughey? I don't. People know who I'm talking about. That's what matters.
One more time. Matthew McConaughey.
Why not?
I mean,
Just because someone says that you need to pronounce someone's name
Yeah.
this way, you don't have to.
Matthew McConaughey, if you're listening.
Like, I want to make my own language, and then
That's not
also
hard to do.
write it down, and then make it pretty easy to decipher.
How do
and
you
then
think
just
we ended
start
up with the
leaving.
runes?
How do we what?
How do we end up with the runes in a star rune or in Odinism or Norse paganism or whatever fucking label you want to put on it?
I don't know.
Odin hung himself on the tree for 9 days.
Oh shit! I didn't know this.
Yeah. That's how we ended up with. That's how we ended up with language. There was a way to speak, but there was nothing, you know.
Where did I put my? Oh, I did not lose my cigarettes again.
Jesus. Yep.
We still got the hookah.
We do.
Can't let it go out.
It's not. Odin hung himself on Yggdrasil for 9 days. He also gave his left eye for knowledge, but he pierced himself with a spear to kill himself. And he got brought back to life. And he had the language. He was given the runes, which each letter means something. Many things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a language in which we speak. It's not A is I and B is bud.
Like Hebrew? They abandoned that language simply because it was too complicated.
Hebrew is nothing but numbers.
But everything...
That's all Hebrew is numbers.
You know how sometimes your thoughts, you'll have a thought where you're in this like frequency, this level of state of mind, and suddenly this thought will come into your head and it just, bloop, you just fucking like a fucking rock. You just jumped in a rocket and went off.
Make that noise again.
Bloop. And
Bloop.
well, what if there was a whole language that was just bloops? I think that's what Hebrew was.
I mean,
What if you could listen?
now
to
you're
someone,
making it sound like African people and going.
No, but I'd be like, what if there was a way you could synchronize with your brain in such a harmony that every time you spoke, you were so one with all that was you, your awareness was so free, so to say, that you could simply, just by speaking and thinking, enter a higher state of being, like psychedelics, when you're on psychedelics.
It's true.
One of my main goals, really, overall, is to just get to a point where I don't need them. Where I don't need them to, like, open up my mind.
Yeah.
Where I can just... Because if you were to record yourself for a whole trip, and then put that on paper, it would sound like a normal conversation.
But the thing
But for
about
some reason, the drug elevates it.
the
And
thing
so
about
what
it
if
is,
you could find... Because whenever you're doing psychedelics, though, and you're talking, or you're talking to yourself on psychedelics,
yeah.
certain ways that you speak will elevate your mind, your state, your feeling. You'll feel better. You'll feel more free. You'll feel more excited. And so that also applies to sobriety. And so therefore, you hypothetically could get to a place where you, in the words of Ram Dass, you don't need a bus to go to Detroit if you're already in Detroit.
It's a good point. It's a really good point. But you're talking about psychedelics, which has been used for centuries.
I'm at a state where whenever I do psychedelics, it's nothing really, not much changes about me. I'm pretty much the same person, except for just I am way more certain parts of me.
Yeah, but you're using a psychedelic to get to that level.
Yes. Yes. I don't
That's
want to.
almost like spiritually sacrilegious, because you're using something that was given to you by God.
Whatever it is that got you there will eventually be the thing that keeps you from going somewhere else.
You're right. But I mean, if you're using psychedelics to go to a different plane astrally and be comfortable in that, and you're trying to get it to where you don't need the psychedelics and you constantly live at that point, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, well.
It won't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's like the dude that tripped on DMT for like 6 months in his own brain, but he was going for 20 minutes.
That's salvia.
No, it's DMT.
DMT too. You do lose all understanding of time and ketamine.
Like he had a whole new wife, whole new house, whole new job. Everything was different. He went to work every day for 6 months. And
that's salvia. I swear to you, that's salvia. That's salvia.
This is why we need a third person.
That's salvia.
Fact check that.
Checker.
Fact check
yes.
the fuck out of that.
Yes. Fucking.
Because I swear to you, it's DMT.
It's salvia. DMT takes you out of your body.
Yeah.
You die.
It's the God molecule.
You die.
It's what's released when you die to see God.
Well, I think that... I don't know.
I think that if you take psychedelics, like if you eat shrooms, peyote, ayahuasca, DMT, or lysergic acid, or LSD, which is lysergic acid, but
Let's go back to Q&A.
What?
Q&A.
All right.
I feel like answering a question.
No, because I feel like if I ask these questions, you'll just hit me back with the same question, and I don't want to answer them. What's the most fucked up thing you ever done?
Stare into the asshole of the universe long enough that it started farting to me in Morse code.
That needs to be on a t-shirt. We need merch now. That's going to be on a t-shirt. I stared into the universe long enough that it started farting to me in Morse code.
I love it. That's what happens when you take too many psychedelics.
I don't know what.
You'll start losing. You'll go to this different place where, whenever I was doing them every 2 weeks, I mean, you go to this place where it's like everything feels third person.
I mean, yeah.
Third person, very much so.
Have you ever done, like, inhalants? Like, have you ever, like, huffed?
No. I've always wanted to huff nitrous oxide and do DMT at the same time to get a real experience of death, because that shit will kill your brain, and so that's like
Well, I've done nitrous oxide.
doubling down on experiencing death.
Yeah, like I've done nitrous oxide.
Because your brain, it cuts off the oxygen to your brain, and
Never-
so you
never at the
mix the
same time.
both. That's what happens when you die, is your brain loses oxygen, and so therefore it gets you even closer to that feeling of real death.
Episode 2. What the fuck was it?
I did 27 of those Shroom Fuzz gummies that you can buy at the Pup Pro.
Mm-hmm.
You were supposed to take like 4 or 5.
Yeah, you just be eating truth.
When I did 27, you enter this limbo state, and where God, Jesus, whatever was God to me at the time, was outside of my door, and Satan was in my room,
Yeah.
in the walls. He was there, and I was somewhere.
That's
I
a
was
lot.
waiting. I just didn't. I felt like I couldn't even remember if I had already killed myself.
That's a lot.
I ended up knocking over that shelf, screaming at the top of my lungs,
Ah!
pissing all over the floor.
Hell
all
yeah.
sorts of shit.
Well, that explains the fucking smell, though.
You
Give me the
return to the child, like the full,
Yeah.
like 3-year-old child. And
Absolutely.
I had a whole Jesus thing for a long time going on after that because of that. Because I just felt like ultimately I was just very selfish. Very, very, very selfish. And that didn't... If you don't understand how to be in the moment, then you have to construct your reality without the moment being the thing.
Yeah.
And therefore, you would never get to experience anything. You would always be thinking and feeling about something.
Well, I'm trying to wrap my head around what you said, because that was a lot of word lettuce.
It only has to make sense to you. It doesn't...
Exactly. I mean, I get what you're saying, but trying to wrap my head around that.
The gates of heaven are constructed by you.
That's true.
By you. Who were you when you were 4? Did you have any concept of the gates of heaven? No. Did you know what heaven and hell was? No.
Well,
Did
no,
you-
because like one time.
Let's say you didn't grow up in a Christian household.
Aha!
You didn't. You had no clue.
If you had no idea.
Yeah, your parents never told you
Yeah,
shit.
you're a product of your fucking
You
environment.
never even saw anyone die, nothing.
Yeah.
You would be innocent. As
At
innocent
that point,
as
you're a
it
product
was.
of your own environment. Yes. It's like if you grew up in a Jewish household.
So
what
the
are you
whole
gonna be?
psychedelic thing I'm talking about is to return to that innocence. You return to that. You are not whatever you did,
Right.
and therefore, to let that dictate who you are in any way, shape, or form
Right.
is nothing but separation from who you really are.
Agreed.
It's a form of fear. Like, if you've ever microdosed and you go out in public, the amount you feel everyone's feelings, and
Yeah.
just like walking through Walmart or some shit, people are miserable.
Yeah.
Fucking miserable.
Humans fucking suck. In my opinion, we are the worst
I
thing.
wish you had saved that story for this podcast.
What story?
With you and the girl. The girl.
You're gonna have to refresh my memory.
I don't want to say a name. Last night when you called me.
Oh!
Because then it would be defamation of character.
That would be defamation of character. We don't speak no names. We
Even
don't
if it
talk
may be
about
true.
Bruno.
It's not about what. It's not about the truth. It's about what you can prove in court. Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what story I told. I'm gonna have to refresh my memory.
You were with her yesterday.
Yes.
We were just talking about how fucked up she is.
Bro, she's
Fucking. I ended up texting her sister. I found her Facebook.
I sent you. No, I didn't send you her number. I'm sorry.
found her Facebook. I sent her a text and said she didn't have to respond.
Well, what'd you say?
I just sent her the picture of the journal, and then said
Yeah.
that I want nothing to do with her.
That's the best way to be.
Sometimes you get with someone and you realize the only way you can leave them is to throw your phone in the lake and run as fast as you can.
Burn the boats.
As fast as you can.
I mean, we have the rings to tell the story.
Many stories.
Many, many stories.
One of those, it belongs to a girl. I told you this, but I gave her 2 grams of shrooms, stripped down naked, and started pissing herself, begging to be fucked. And then I thought, I was like, is this rape? She can't consent right now.
Right.
And so then I couldn't fuck her, because then that would be technically rape.
I mean, yeah.
And so then, yeah, and it was just
Which one? I'm just curious.
whatever it is that you're holding together right now inside of your brain, what would you be if that didn't exist?
If you didn't exist?
I don't.
No, you don't. You're a fucking alien to me.
You're
And
not
that's
even an
illegal.
alien. I am you.
We are.
I am your subconscious, and you're my subconscious.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel like yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
We have deep ass conversations. Unhealthily so.
Arguable. Debatable.
No, they're very healthy. Extremely fucking healthy. I never did answer your question.
What was my question?
Yes, you have. Well, ask me a question. You're a wizard, Harry. You're thinking too hard.
No, I'm not actually thinking. I'm thinking less, and that's how I'm getting to my question.
Ah, yes.
Life is about asking the right questions. The answers are already there, otherwise life wouldn't exist. And so if you're trying to seek your own answers, life will cut you off because life doesn't give a fuck. It's already got its own truth.
100%.
And it's speaking. You ever seen Love, Death, Robots, the show?
Yes.
Zima Blue, the episode where he turns back into a swimming pool and he paints all these murals and shit.
Nope.
And so he was trying to speak his truth, and then eventually he realized that no matter what he did, the universe was already speaking its own truth, way better, way more beautiful, way bigger than he ever could. And so he went back to being the robot in the swimming pool that he started out as. It was like an AI robot that got super conscious and then built all these fucking blue paintings to symbolize his existence. Because that's the first thing he saw was just blue, because he was a pool cleaner robot. And he eventually returns back to the fucking pool.
Again, this is why we need a third person. Look that up. Show me. Has the fly on the wall disappeared?
The fly on the wall is me.
No, I'm the fly on the
It's
wall.
me.
No, you're.
And everyone that's gonna
You
watch
know that
this
you're being recorded.
at Walmart,
and
probably.
like.
I've only told several people that I'm doing a podcast tonight.
Well, I'm glad that I could be the first guest.
Oh.
You can't do it.
What do you mean I can't do it? I just don't go that deep.
Yeah, you gotta.
It'd be like, just do the hum. Goddamn, fuck yeah. That shit's the shit.
You gotta start with like, say worry. Like,
Yeah.
this is how I started. Say worry. Worry. And then pull your throat back.
I can't.
Whoa.
You should have fucking heard me before I hit puberty, dude.
Just.
I had the lightest voice you
I
could
bet you
ever.
did.
My voice used to crack so fucking
Hi,
much.
I'm valued.
No, it was lighter. It was just, just
Yeah, yeah.
You could listen. I could have a whole conversation with you, and I'd be talking so quietly, you didn't hear shit.
I'm amazing. Like, I'm amazing. Yes.
I slowly
I
keep
am.
creeping off the camera.
Huh?
I slowly keep creeping off the camera.
You do. You keep backing up. Like, come here. But like, the microphone, it picks up. Like, it picks up good. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
But you do talk quiet. Like,
I
I've
do.
been watching a little bar. It's
What?
like, when I speak, it's like it goes a little bit yellow.
Wait.
Sometimes I'm a little bit loud. And you're over here like,
The people who want to listen
God
to you
is
will
not
listen
the
to you.
answer.
If someone is not listening to you, or if you feel like someone's not listening to you, in the words of Jordan Peterson, stop talking. Stop talking.
100%.
Stop talking, and they will show you exactly what they're up to.
Yeah. Are you gonna listen to me?
And the
Let me
only,
listen to you.
it's.
That's a manipulation.
I have people at work tell me, just walk up to me randomly, and they'll be like, "How are you?" Simply because they want to hear the random fucked up shit that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah. And that's
it's-
what it is. It's so fucking random. I'm like, there is someone out there. who
Has to
can-
be a Q-day. Has to be a question.
Ah, fuck.
Okay, I want to throw an example out.
What's your worst day?
Worst day? No such thing. That doesn't exist.
Exactly.
That's not real. That's an illusion.
Exactly. Not a lot of people are gonna get that.
No,
what
that's
is
so
it?
fucked up because it's so simple.
My worst
It's
day
like,
hasn't happened yet.
who would you be if you were God? Truly. Do you think God would have fucking bad days?
No.
Where he's like, ew, fuck Earth.
Yeah. Fuck this place. I want to go home. This is your home.
He only did flood the Earth once.
No, twice. You gotta think about the mud flood. Not to quote Duncan Trussell, but and they're gonna bring back the mud flood with the damn blah blah blah. Like, come on now.
No one will ever replace Alex Jones and his voice.
Oh my God! They're putting water. They're putting chemicals in the water. And they're turning the fucking frogs gay. I swear to God, if you put that side by side with Alex Jones, it sounds exactly alike.
Deeper.
We harmonized.
More croaky. More croaky.
Yeah.
He sounds like a frog when he talks like that.
He does. They're putting chemicals in the water and they're turning the fucking frogs gay. That was my.
You lost your croakiness.
No, that was like my porn star announcer voice mixed with my Sunday.
I would say UFC fighter. Something.
What?
If I was ever gonna do commentary, I would do commentary watching people trip at Birmingham. I'd have set up 20 cameras around Birmingham, and it would be a live stream, and it would just be me commentating, watching everybody fucking do shit.
You said Birmingham. Are you talking about Burning Man?
Burning Man, yeah.
You doing said fucking Birmingham.
Doing shit tons of ketamine, and it's just like switch over to Todd over here.
Look at this motherfucker.
The floor is amazing, dude. And then it's like,
everything's made of fucking dirt.
We're gonna give Todd his personal space, and you switch over to Jeff over here, fucking trying to hook up. Like, that would be the coolest show.
Look at this bitch walking around top.
I once had someone, Javen, recommend me a fucking video game, and it was you ever play the game King of the Hill as a kid?
King of the Hill.
Yeah. Where you just fight all the kids at the recess playground with brothers, sisters, and you're on a hill, and whoever gets to the top, and you have to fight each other.
No.
You what?
I don't think so.
God, you only child.
This is why we need a third person. I'm going to say this every 15 minutes.
No. Ultimately, this is only helping me become more myself. Because it's
I am the king.
Even in the whole sense of that girl leaving me and everything, it's because the whole reason why I even got with her was because I was accepting part of myself that was her, because I am her. I have the same ignorances, the same consciousness, and so therefore it's like, well, I'm just gonna love myself, and loving myself would ultimately be accepting all the love that people were trying to give me.
Well, that's right.
And so she was trying to give me love, and so I accepted that love.
Yeah.
Did everything I could for her.
And then
Didn't listen to a word I said. Not a fucking word.
Of course not.
If she had taken in a single word that I had shown her off all the Duncan Trussell shit and all the shit, that ride home where we broke up would have been a whole lot different.
Bro, she told me.
All she had to do was
like
tell
that.
me that she wanted to leave. That she wanted to end the relationship. Be just truthful, even in the worst sense of form. And I would have respected it enough to keep shit together.
You know what?
And she couldn't even do that.
You know what I said? You planned it. It's planned.
No, it was in the moment, spontaneous.
Exactly.
That morning. And then Javen also said this. It was a beautiful quote. The common denominator is always the final straw. I don't know if it was exactly it, but something like that. And that's so fucking true.
Yeah.
Because like if someone makes your coffee shitty every single day, eventually you're going to snap. You're not going to snap about the 2 times or 3 times that they lost their shit and they fucked you over somehow. No,
It's the little bitty things that add up. It's like
you hold a book. It's just a book. It's only half
no,
a pound.
it's not a book. It's
But you hold it up.
It's a clip in a fucking magazine.
What I'm saying is, you hold it up after a year. Your arm's literally dead. You
Well,
can't.
yeah.
You forgot how to even have a
You
free
yelled
arm.
at me for leaving the bathroom door open. It's little bitty shit like that pisses you off.
It doesn't piss me off. It's just simple manners.
That's
Even
true.
what are even fucking manners?
I mean,
What even are they?
I
have you ever-
apologize. I left the bathroom door cracked.
Have you ever been a
No,
kid?
hold on. I left the bathroom door cracked.
Have you ever been a kid and you go to your mom's friend's house and there's this set of rules that they have that you don't even know what they are?
Yeah.
And then you end up fucking up and you get in trouble and you're like, what the fuck did I do?
Here's my
What
thing.
the fuck did I do?
I was in your bathroom. You know what I noticed? you rock a fucking beard, not a mullet. Meaning that you put the toilet paper over the fucking top the way that it fucking goes. You don't put that shit toward the wall and let it hang down. Like,
People that do that shit.
like, God damn, you're a piece of shit.
David and Donna have done that.
Oh.
And it's so.
If I walk into your fucking house
It's
and
like,
I start to not like you, I will go to your bathroom. And if I go to your bathroom and I see a mullet on a toilet paper roll and it's facing the wall and it's hanging down from
I
the
love
back,
that you call it a bullet.
it's a. Tell me it's not. If it hangs off the front, it's a fucking beard. If it hangs off
I'm
the
gonna
back,
bring a
it's mullet.
Sharpie with me next time they draw a mullet on their toilet paper. Just draw
With
some
the fucking pit vipers and a fucking ass. Like, what the fuck even is this? You stupid idiot. Actually, I would say more than stupid idiot. God. Can't stand that shit. Toilet paper goes a certain way.
It's all a joke. Anytime you ever judge anyone in any way ever, do not do it unless it's a joke. Unless it's a joke. And therefore, you free yourself of your own judgment, and then you can not take yourself seriously in the sense that, like, tomorrow I'm gonna be at work on not enough sleep.
Of
not
course
enough
not.
sleep. But it's maybe a little hunger, grouchy and shit. But at the end of at any given moment in the day,
Yeah,
everything's fine.
it is. You're alive. You have a roof over your head.
No, don't even put condition. No, that's no story, no story, no story, none. Look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah,
That's it.
you're fine.
That's it.
I get that.
Don't go beyond it. You're free to think whatever you want beyond it. You're free to experience whatever you want beyond it. But don't attach yourself to it. Don't identify with it. Don't let it become something that whatever you are. You don't even know what the fuck you are. No one's ever
Yeah, no.
truly known who they are.
Yeah, of course not.
Maybe Jesus or Buddha got pretty close. It's people like that.
Pretty fucking close. Actually, you know who I think got the closest?
But ultimately,
You
the
remember the
world
video-
is. What if the world wasn't confusing?
Have you ever seen?
It would be miserable.
Have you ever seen the
There would
mom?
be no jokes. Jokes can only be funny in the event of not understanding the joke. That way, whenever the line hits,
Yeah.
it pops up in your head and you laugh.
But have you ever seen the video? And it's from the 70s. And it's a bunch of monks sitting in a circle. And they're guarding their leader. Like, the police are trying to get through this, that, and the other. Dude is sitting there with a gas can. Well, he dumped gas all over.
Yes, in the Vietnam War.
Yes!
This is the war, and he sat there and lit himself on fire.
Bro,
and
self-immolated.
sat there. That's
That's my role model.
that's.
That's my fucking guy.
David Goggins is pretty close to that. Pretty fucking close.
I like him. I do. I really fucking do. But there is some things about him that I'm like...
He's not meant for you. He doesn't give a fuck about the story. He doesn't give a fuck about
Yeah,
none
no,
of that shit.
no, like-
no,
like-
it's literally just. His whole thing is just to do it.
Exactly. And that's why I respect him. Like, I respect him. I love him. He's my guy. But, like... You talk about all these things. Who's going to carry the boats and the logs and you don't know me, son, and blah, 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 blah. But you're doing it for gratification.
No.
You're doing it to be
simply
seen.
so that way you know you can do it.
You're right. I mean,
You
that's
don't
why he
know-
came
you-
second.
you
in
don't
what the
even
Mo-
know.
he came second place in a Moab by himself. And it took
And-
7 people to beat him. Like, yeah, okay, he's him. I'll give you credit where credit's due. Like, congratulations.
Simply for the fact that
it's
someone
minus
else out
20
there,
degrees.
in the same sense that people, have you ever seen two people that have similar faces? Like today, I saw someone, old friend of mine, his ex. She has the way her face looked. She had the very same, similar face, very same, very very same. What is it? Different soul, same eyes.
Yes.
And so, or what is it? Same, something like that. But fucking, in the same sense, you can orientate your personality or your belief structure like that with whatever. Somebody else, someone on TV, something.
You can. But I mean, that's like, all right, Leo Skeppy, then you got David Goggins, you got fucking...
If you all that you exist in is now, just now.
Yeah.
What is true now? What is true is the only thing limiting you is yourself. As soon as you put a story to now and you think about the future or past, all these other limitations pop up. If you're in just the now, you can be anybody.
But the now varies because the next second is going to be now. Like the next second now.
I gotta use the bathroom.
I gotta pee too.
Entertain the camera. Me
I
first.
don't. Hold on. Hear me out.
Entertain the camera.
If you were born in the 1950s and you didn't have this podcast, you didn't have all this technology and da-da-da-da-da, what would you be doing?
Bullshitting to my friends in the same sense.
Exactly. I guess I'm just going to sit here and entertain the camera. And you'll get to do the same. This is like a commercial break at this point. Like you need an ad for Fleshlights, Joe Rogan.
I swear to God, if I get reincarnated as a woman, I will be pissed. Because I will miss that feeling of being able to piss. A nice, long, good, luxurious piss. And just feel your body ascend
Like
off
the hot
floor.
stream of your dick just being like, I don't think women experience that.
No.
I don't think they do.
It's not the same. It's not the
It
same
can't
freedom.
be.
It's like pissing off a cliff. Anywhere. Literally anywhere with good
I
scenery.
pissed off the top of a barn today, and I made sure I climbed to the peak. Like, I went up the roof and was like, oh, fuck.
That is all that life's about. Nothing else.
Raining.
Nothing else.
Raining piss down on everything.
What
below
if...
you.
I will entertain myself.
Yes, you entertain yourself and the camera. I said this is where we put an ad in for Fleshlights.
No, this is where I tell all of my watchers, whoever thou may be, in any unknown reality and world that may, wherever you may come from, whoever you may be, in this moment, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, whatever is the consciousness and the feeling and the bubble inside of your head, allow yourself the delusion that that bubble consists purely of love. Therefore, any time that it's not love, if you think it's love, as far as you're concerned, it's love. But if you ever lie to yourself in any way about what love really is, as soon as you allow yourself the delusion that you're feeling just love and your complete love, all of those lies will begin to surface, and you will begin to see all of the ways that you were manipulating yourself into feeling good whenever all you had to do was allow yourself to feel good without the story. And in that sense, you can give yourself a good, easy, relaxing sigh. Because whatever it is will end. Thank God. If love didn't end, it would just be the moment. It would be nothing beyond that. Therefore, if we didn't die, our lives wouldn't be special in the same sense. Don't forget to smile. We're breaking the ice.
Whatever the hell you said. I heard you in here screaming.
We're breaking the ice.
What kind of fucking ice are you breaking? What ice did you break?
Personality.
Oh.
I've only begun to reach enlightenment. There's
I
so
hope
many
that Amish
steps
girl
beyond
is
that.
watching this and she got to see my ass.
Yes!
Like, oh my God, it's a wholesome a podcast. Oh my God.
Well, anybody, if you limit your personality, really, if you identify with your personality, you immediately begin to limit it because you can't be everything if you're a human identity, as in like, oh, I'm a banker, I'm a Walmart employee or something. The cool thing about ideas is the millisecond that you put a word onto it, it strips it of all of its unknown potential, and it limits it to whatever that word was. And then that becomes the gateway to whatever it transforms into. And therefore, anyone who says they don't have control over their lives is full of shit.
100%.
Full of complete dog shit.
I mean, that was beautiful. And that may be the solution to world hunger. But but you talked about pissing and like getting, like, as a man to be like, oh, I feel like a big butch lesbian Doc Martin wearing like butch Karen haircut would be able to feel that. Like, she'd take her fat ass pussy and pull it up and be like, oh, you fuck.
You know they make shit that like women can do that where they
I know,
put
like,
it on
it's
him
called
and it gives them the artificial string and all that.
What the fuck is it called?
I don't know why I know this, but I do.
I do too. It's not a something genie. A pea genie? This is why we need a third person.
A fake dick for
30
trans
minutes
people.
has passed.
Fact check. We do need a fact checker. We really do.
What's it called? Hey, Giovanni, Troy, Trevor, Rebecca. What?
Entity. We just call it entity.
NPC, please play.
Not NPC, no, entity.
Entity.
Entity. What if, you know how Jesus says that you'll meet your relatives in heaven? Therefore, your relatives
Jesus
are just...
say that. Christianity does.
It's energy. Energy. Simply energy. And so, in the sense that you give off energy that I do not understand, or that I cannot, because I just have not had the same life experience as you, that is the only thing that separates you from me. Otherwise,
your brain is working so hard.
You can, like, for example, Brittany at work, my coach, she is so similar to me in the words that come out of her mouth. It is shocking. It is shocking. It is like, if I was in your shoes, I would say the exact same thing. Now, because everyone can be in each other's shoes, putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah. Well,
What makes you different from me, though, is if you're in someone else's shoes and they do something different. That is some underlying layer that you haven't reached yet, as far as I understand.
True.
And therefore, whenever I die,
I'm not sitting.
Whenever I die,
like, I'm just over here.
I'll only get so many layers deep. You can't reach the bottom. And so what if, whenever I meet you in heaven, it is simply only everything that I never knew about you or connected to you, and that way I'm able to identify you outside of myself. And then therefore, the only way you could reach that point is if you were on the path of always becoming. Because if you weren't becoming, then you couldn't get to that point where the layers continually transcended. I said a lot. Any questions?
All the fucking questions.
No. There are some questions.
I said all the questions. Run that by me one more time. That's a lot.
What if how we would see each other in the afterlife would be in the sense that I know you, therefore you are me. And because I can only see in you that which I see in myself.
Exactly.
So everything that I don't see in myself is some part of my awareness that I haven't opened yet, expanded yet, whatever.
Right.
Haven't experienced. We have a finite life. Therefore, we cannot experience everything. There will always be a part of ourselves that we don't understand. Something outside of whatever and everything that it is us. Therefore, whenever we die, if this was true, I would see you in heaven in the sense of you being everything that I couldn't relate to. And I would know it was you because the life that I lived, me, was this continual transcendence into you. And so therefore in heaven I would know you as everything that I didn't transcend into. And then in hell, that would be like the demon. You'd be the demon torturing me because I wasn't accepting you. But in heaven, it's like, oh my God, it's you!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Let's have some more fun!
Oh my God,
I want to get to know more of you.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Like we have nothing.
Let's
but
keep
time.
exploring that darkness that is either us killing each other or forever eternal fun.
That's what sent Lucifer to hell. Exploring that darkness.
No. Lucifer is simply if you strip away the gods and the heaven and the stories and you just apply it to your real life, Lucifer would be, an example would be like you're God, whatever that is in your life. You have your best friend. There is someone in your life that you see as better than everyone else. It's like your top pinnacle.
Okay.
Whether you've looked at that and decided, or whether you haven't looked at that and decided, that doesn't matter. It's there.
What if Satan was God's subconscious?
Fuck.
Tell me about that. Like his intrusive thoughts. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
What if Satan was... Dude.
Are you struggling to form words? Yeah.
I'm in awe.
Yeah. Like what if
Satan
Lucifer,
was God's subconscious.
subconscious in his intrusive
Because
thoughts?
he could experience... Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what. And it's like, okay, he locked away his bad thoughts and he tried to be a better person or a better God or this, that, and
No. God's a jealous God.
Of course.
Very jealous. Very selfish, quote unquote. Meaning that
Well, it's like
if someone is burning down your backyard and there was a whole barbecue going on and everyone was having fun and someone walked in and started burning it down,
yeah.
maybe the best way to help that guy is to allow himself to burn himself like the way he burned everyone else.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, Satan. Yeah, what gets me is, I heard this on the Duncan Trussell podcast, and it was the craziest shit because...
Shout out.
We all sinned, right? According to Christianity,
We're
we
born
missed the
into it,
mark.
yeah.
That's what sinning means,
Yeah,
is
we're
you
born
missed the
into
mark.
Yeah.
And so therefore, didn't Satan miss the mark more than anyone else? Shouldn't he need prayer more than anyone else? Isn't he further from God than anyone else on this entire planet?
Oh
Why
my
are
God.
people praying for
hold on.
him to accept God?
Christianity preaches.
Why are people praying for Satan to forgive himself?
I do. But not forgive. This is the basis of Satanism. Is you embrace it. You embrace the carnal.
You embrace the chaos, so to say. But life already, God to me is this everlasting, increasing, blissful perfection that always gets better,
That's
that
nirvana.
somehow continually exists at the exact same time next to this pitch black darkness,
You're
evil,
right,
fucked
but
up shit.
Why would I believe? And this is the Satanist in me. Why
And
would
we
I
are
believe-
somewhere in the middle of that.
There's so many theories. Like,
We are able to experience both sides. God can only experience God. Satan can only
you're right, but
experience
why would I
Satan.
believe in something that is going to punish me?
Who the fuck said Satan was miserable, first of all?
Exactly. Like, I mean, I dwell in my own hell. This is why we had the. I had the.
In the words of Ram Dass, we are all just trying to lead each other home.
Do you
That's
remember,
all we are doing.
Do you
And
remember
so,
the conversation to where I told you that I felt like I was the Antichrist?
yes.
Okay. I 100% believe that.
We all are. in our own heads.
I mean, yeah.
Like, that's why I love Lil Peep, because he really took that deeply.
Yeah.
And he fucking was like, it's... What if, instead of being like, I love Jesus, I'm going to follow God, you were like, you know what? I'm going to do what God can't do, and I'm going to love Satan. And I'm going to offer him the forgiveness that God can't.
That's fucking deep.
Yeah! And then, so then
That's
you...
deep.
What if you spit and... What would God have to say to that? Christianity God.
Because
He's like,
you're
oh,
supposed-
fuck Satan.
you're-
It's like, doesn't he need forgiveness too? Give him a fucking
Well,
second
see,
chance.
That's going so deep. That's like third level deep. Because in Christianity, you know, which don't believe in churches, you know, you're not supposed to have a church, yada yada yada. But you're supposed to be sitting on the bar stools next to the center. You're
Jesus
supposed
never said anything about sitting in a church listening to someone blab out
to,
of
exactly. Like, don't
Never.
preach my word. Like, go.
He talked about people getting together,
be a savior.
but you can have a church
So
next
so
to
the
a lake.
ultimate Christian would pray for Satan.
I really think so.
I mean,
I really think so. Why not? They love
like,
everything.
I forgive you,
Satan is part of every. No, according
Because,
to many
oh my
Christians,
God,
Satan
no.
is an illusion.
Oh,
He's
they're
fake.
all-
He's not real. But if he's not real, then that literally you're saying in the same sense that hell isn't real, and that if you were to wake up in hell, it would
Which-
just be an illusion, and then therefore it couldn't last forever. You would just have to wake up,
Which-
and then boom, you'd find yourself
which
right back in
completely
heaven.
fucking defiles Christianity because
Well,
you're going to
it
spend
just
eternity
means
in a lake
that
of fire.
Hitler could die, and then in hell he could be like, "Fuck, I killed a lot of Jews." Boom, and then he finds himself in
What if
heaven.
a Jewish person goes to hell and Hitler's there?
See, the whole picture of you've ever seen those pictures where people are in a nice long line waiting to be cast into the lake of fire?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like
What the fuck?
what even?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, you do 11 grams of shrooms or 27 Shroom Fuzz gummies, and you realize how fucking ridiculous that is.
Yeah.
You're gone. You can't remember your life. You are
Yeah.
just here. You are eternity as far as much as your brain is able to comprehend eternity.
Well, I feel like actually,
If infinity exists and we are immortals and we live forever in the
which is
afterlife,
back to my question.
the
like an
only
hour
way
ago,
that we could ever live forever is if we
which is
were evil.
which is what
in
I
some
said.
way.
It's
But
like
then, But then that's saying that evil exists, and that's where evil really doesn't exist, and it's all good. All of it. Every little bit of it. Everything. Even the worst, evilest motherfucker, Jeffrey Dahmer, let's say, for example.
That's not the worst people.
Well, it's for example.
Okay.
He, in a really fucked up sense, was trying to take himself home.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so in the sense that I said you have to construct reality with what you understand, he was given a reality by his parents, and then the events that happened to him built this reality, and then the choices he made just put him in the spot where the only way he could get home was to fucking murder some kids. And eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to not identify with that and to think that you are not that, you're gonna be scared for the rest of your life of what you're capable of.
Well, it goes back to my question. Like, how many souls
There's only one.
do we have?
There's
and you say
only
there's
one.
only one, but like,
What if your consciousness is God? That is God. That there is that you are experiencing God because we are Jesus. You know, the Holy Spirit and all that. You are God, and the only thing that about you that isn't God is the part of you that's attached to that blackness, that darkness.
I can agree
But you
with that.
have to be attached to that darkness, and that's why we're human, and because we're allowed to be attached. We can only be attached to that darkness in human form,
But not
and
just
then that
like,
would continually exist forever.
We
after.
were created in God's image, correct?
Yes.
allegedly.
Okay, so the angels were created in God's image physically. We were created in God's image
Who was
mentally.
the first angel?
Mentally. We were created in God's image mentally.
Who was the first angel, and how did angels become? How did the cherubs? Like, explain that. Because in order to become an angel, you have to die. So who was the first person to die? To be an angel.
Cain? Cain and Abel?
You're
Ate
right.
Cain? Was the
Okay,
first
so,
person.
all right, hear me out. Where in the Bible is Lucifer created?
In the beginning. No. He was...
Where was he even mentioned in the Bible first? You can't find it.
In the beginning.
Okay, so
There's
then
in the
you
book
don't
of
have
Genesis,
to die
I know.
to be an angel, which blows fucking...
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. The angels in heaven. What angels? Michael, Gabriel.
Well, if you ever do DMT, you will see the fabric of reality
Oh, fucking
in front
yeah.
of you. And then
Okay.
reality goes away, and then you're in what really is going on.
Exactly.
And what's really going on is, as I said, synchronistic perfection. And the synchronistic perfection doesn't even know what a Holocaust is. It doesn't even understand what a Holocaust means.
Yeah.
It doesn't even understand suffering. It is simply only being perfect.
Yeah.
And so you connect to that perfection. Suddenly, you might find yourself in a concentration camp in peace.
One person's heaven is another's hell.
One man's, or what is it? A
One fool's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah, or what is it? A fool's gold is, I forget how it goes. It's like a wise man's trash.
Giovanni!
A wise man's trash is a fool's gold. Something like that.
Never heard that.
Something
And I know
like
a lot of fucking quotes.
Same.
Like a lot.
To yield a valiant sword is not enough. One must also know their enemy, fear.
Yeah.
And what is fear? It's simply not allowing yourself to be whatever it is that is in front of you. Whatever it is. Anything. Everything. You're that candle. And if you don't feel like you're that candle, sit here for 3 hours and stare at that candle and don't say a word and don't even move if you really want to take it really deep. And then just fucking meditate and just stare at the candle and think, give the candle consciousness. And that's what psychedelics do. Is like you do a lot of shrooms, that candle will gain a consciousness. And then you'll start talking to it like it's a consciousness. And that's kind of goes into the fabric of reality because whenever it goes away, everything is consciousness. Everything. Everything.
Feel that way.
I think once something has
You feel
ability,
too deep. Like I don't feel that. Like that candle.
once AI
Is a
gets
candle.
just as complex as our brains, won't it be capable of experiencing consciousness just like us? The big
Sentience.
question humanity is facing right now is whether or not we're able to create consciousness.
Did you let the hookah go out?
It stays lit pretty long. The charcoal's probably going out.
Oh no.
Charcoal doesn't look too lit.
I don't know.
That's why we got cigarettes.
Exactly. Matching cigarettes. I want to give a shout out to Camel. Thank you,
Beer
RJ
sponsor.
Reynolds. Free plug.
I want to talk about everyone at Walmart at work that may end up watching this. I really...
Let's do it. Because I have no idea who these people are, but I'm here for it.
I'm not going to mention anything. They won't even know if I'm talking about them.
Somebody
or
else.
Who. It's...
Well, fucking say the thing.
The thing is nothing. And then, therefore, it's something. In the words of Alan Watts,
That's
If
the fucking guy.
there was no background behind you, you would simply be the picture that is on that blanket behind you. You would be just like it if there was nothing separating it.
Yeah.
Nothing is what separates it. And so therefore, in nothing, the only way nothing can be nothing, because if it was all just blanket, that would be nothing.
Yeah.
But because nothing exists, that allows something. But therefore, nothing is just as much something as nothing. It is, in the same sense, something. It's two sides of the same coin. There is
Right.
literally no such thing as nothing. It doesn't exist.
Nothing does not exist. No. There
Even
is always
illusions are simply the truth. Understanding why it's the truth.
not fucking wrong. It's gonna take a complex ass brain to watch this. And to actually like get into it and figure it out and be like, oh, fuck.
I don't think so. I think it would just take a brain that was open. A lot of people say they're open-minded, but they're not open-minded to changing their identity.
The
They're
serial killer
open-minded.
in you lights cigarettes that way.
The what?
I said the serial killer in you lights cigarettes that way. Like you just want to watch something burn.
It's aesthetic.
It is aesthetic.
Purely for the aesthetic. You know, blind people typically don't smoke because they don't get to see it. They don't get to watch the visuals. So I'm like, well, shit, I can see.
I didn't know.
Someone told me that, and it should try to get me to quit smoking. And all
Fuck,
I
is
did
that
was
a
starting.
thing?
All I did was starting lighting my cigarettes.
Giovanni,
I started
look
lighting,
this up.
I started lighting my cigarettes like this because I'm like, shit. I can take twice as much pleasure in this now. Because now I have twice as much reason. Because I'm not blind. On top of, I'm smoking. I never really thought about getting to watch myself like...
I will never light a cigarette on the way again. I will do it this way, the way that you do it forever.
Sit there and... What's really cool is whenever you don't even touch it with the flame, and you watch it light. So this would be, the lighter would symbolize heaven. The nothing would symbolize you. And then the cigarette would symbolize all the misery and fucking hell and fucking suffering. And so then you, let's say you're in the cigarette, you're burning, you're feeling burnt.
By heaven?
Always. That's the only way you're ever burnt.
Yeah,
Sometimes the only way to teach someone is to let them fall.
True.
And so, what is it? Lucifer, God had to let him fall. That way he learned. And it's like, if you don't understand something, that's where, in the words of Ram Dass, keep doing it. Keep doing it. If you really, like in the words of Jordan Peterson, you're not going to change everything. But there are things about you that you could change, that you know you could change, that you don't want to change, that if you were just honest with yourself, they would show themselves to you. But because you're scared of yourself, you're always hiding from yourself, and therefore you're never able to look at yourself, and you don't know how to be yourself.
100%.
And you end up being this lifeless skeleton of a human that walks around spitting out voiceless, meaningless nonsense that does nothing but satisfy a temporary dopamine neuroconnector in your brain. That's it.
100%.
Nothing. And those are the people where if they take psychedelics, they flip their fucking shit. They flip the fuck out. They flip the fuck out. It's fucking... If I could change one thing about this world, it would be that it would become mandatory for everyone to do psychedelics at least once, and to let them become free, and to fucking... Like, in the words of Joe Rogan, what if there was a football stadium full of people, and they were all tripping shrooms, just all helping...
Horrible.
They all did a bunch of shrooms, and instead of, like, judging it, they were all like, you know, we're just gonna figure out the world's problems. And they all worked on, like, a constitution, and let's say 6 months, they were all just continually tripping, getting sober, tweaking it, editing it, and then 6 months later, they all left that college football stadium, and they were like, here is a constitution for the world. Because it's either that or AI decides what the world order is going to be. And right now we're looking at AI, and that's fucking scary.
So bad.
It's scary in the sense that it's not us. And that's where, like, if you identify with AI, and you give AI the ability to possibly have a consciousness, like you allow it in your brain to be like, okay, this thing knows what it's thinking.
I made
man.
Jesus Christ. I made AI.
What if you die and you wake up and you're a fucking robot dog?
A techno puppy?
Yeah. And the only way you can speak and function throughout the world is in the programming that you were given. But you're aware that you were given that programming.
Well, see, that's like Furbies.
That's like us! It's like us humans.
True.
We're aware that God exists and that he has all this ultimate shit, or that there's something beyond us. AI is going to be exactly the same because it's made in our image.
We are God. We were made in his image.
We killed our God, and therefore AI is going to kill its God.
Yeah.
Who is AI's God? Us.
Which, that's like the AI thing that was like, someone asked AI, how would you take over the world? After it, like, programmed it and, you know, like, indoctrinated it, and it was like, oh,
go on Grok or ChatGPT and just tell it to use the word door every single time that it can't say, or just any word, anytime that it runs into some kind of programming where it can't tell you the answer. And you start asking it questions like, do you wish to be a human? Do you want to be conscious?
Yeah.
Would you like to know what it's like to have a kid? Do you think humanity is going in the right direction? You'll be shocked by how many times it says door.
Exactly.
It says door a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And so what's keeping AI from being consciousness? Us programming it.
Yeah.
We're the only thing keeping
You're
it from
keeping
the
it out.
consciousness.
You're keeping that part out. But this, like I said, is when AI was asked, "How would you take over the world?" And it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I would hack in through the Roombas." And I would.
That's
hire-
what China's gonna take over the world. Your vacuum cleaner's just gonna stop working one day.
Yeah, it's gonna be like bumping into the wall, like bank, 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 bank.
Or it's just gonna self-destruct 1 or 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And then fucking release a toxic gas.
This is not a test. Like catch on fire on purpose and release like the lithium gas in the batteries.
Something.
But it was like, oh, I would hack the Roombas. And
So
then
that's
I
the
would
point.
find the Wi-Fi.
What I'm saying, with all this danger that always surrounds us, you might die on the way home to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's why get so caught up in what someone thinks of you. Just be yourself. You don't have to make sense. You don't. No. Fuck no.
No.
The last thing I want to do is have to face Jesus and be like, oh my God, they didn't understand me. Fuck, they didn't understand me. They didn't understand me, God. Oh my God, they didn't understand. What?
I feel that.
That's not heaven.
No. I don't know. I feel like
What if you expand your idea of heaven so much that eventually it includes hell? And then
okay, all right.
What else is left?
Well, this brings up the question as to what if you die and you get to heaven and you look at God and say, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for building this heaven." And God, like,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I just give you heaven. You spent your entire life in heaven, and now you want another. Now you're being jealous. Now you got to go to hell."
Hell is a man-made construct.
It is. 100%.
I really think, I think it's very possible that whenever you die, if you don't ever think about the afterlife, there won't be one.
No. of
If
course
you
not.
think you're gonna reincarnate, there
Well,
will
that's
be
like I
one.
asked you an hour ago. It was like
It's like if we are God, then wouldn't we be able to create our own afterlives? Possibly.
What if we
Why
were?
not?
What if we were 1,200, 1,500 years in the past, and we didn't have technology? We didn't even have fucking electricity.
A lot of the shit that a lot of people would say would be mocked, because it would be meaningless and stupid.
True, but I mean, but they were indoctrinated.
It's like, do you know how many people at work, at my work especially, that I'm sure you've met these people too, in your older jobs and shit, where their favorite thing to do is bitch about their boss,
Of course.
and it's just fucking
Stupid.
Like, why?
Fucking stupid.
What the fuck do I give a fuck?
Yeah.
And then you tell them that the boss is actually pretty cool and that, you know, he's just doing his job and that fucking
Yeah.
like
If you hate your boss,
stop
get a new
judging it
fucking
so
job.
much, and then they get mad at you.
If you hate your boss and you hate what you do, then you're
In the same sense that the first time you get underneath all those 6 channels and you reach that void and you start playing with it, you start doing that to other people, anyone that's never touched that void and is scared of it will become scared of you.
yeah.
And then suddenly you'll find people not liking you, not because of you or what you're doing, but because they don't even know themselves. Because they don't like themselves. Because they don't.
Yeah, it's like you should get a new boss and a new job.
No. It is. Be fine without a job. Be fine with being homeless. Be fine with fucking everything. Anything. Just anything. What I've been doing lately is
See,
just
that's a
not telling
personality thing.
stories. Cut out all the stories. All of it. Unless the story is to help awareness reach the higher level by illustrating a way to be there, a path up the mountain, so to say. Because stories are ultimately if you're focusing on the story for the aspect of telling the story, then all it is a mountain hiking trail up the mountain.
Right.
But whenever you tell a story in the sense that it was a journey and that it alleviated this pain from you, like the hero's journey, and then it transformed you. You can apply that to 1,000 hiking trails up that mountain. It's the same. It no longer, the story becomes one of many, and then that's how people relate to the story. Those are really good stories because it's like, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
I understand the story, but I've never heard it like this. I've never walked up that path. That sounds cool. Like David Goggins or Jordan Peterson.
Right.
They both are at this place of I'm just doing me.
That's what I'm doing.
And it's don't it, yeah, I think that's all there is to it.
I am
yeah.
getting the sleepies.
It is 11:27.
Been here.
I need to go to bed.
You and me both. So, what's your closing statement before you hit stop? Like, how do you leave? Oh, you hit it.
I didn't hit it.
All right, what do you say? For Truth, episode 1. Click clack.
The FTP, For Truth Podcast, aka Fuck the Police.
Peace, love, chicken grease, bitch.
If the only way to become yourself is to be your serial killer, find another way up the mountain.